InvestaFest 2022 is brought to you by these major partners: Atram, To Trade Asia, and these other partners. Do not forget to share your experience and learning on social media. Use our official hashtag InvestaFest 2022.
For our next session here in the InvestaFest, I would like to introduce the interviewer, right, for our next speaker, Miss Angelle Cruz. So Lercy has been with Sun Life Asset Management for more than 5 years, under the team of Banks and Alternative Distributions Channel. She is SLAMCI's Business Development Officer, handling the distribution of Sun Life Prosperity Funds through various broker partners, including Investa. So Lercy is also a Certified Investment Solicitor with the SEC and the interviewer for this session. So without further ado, Lercy, I would like to give the floor to you.
Good day, mga ka-Investa. So thank you very much for allotting your time for today, to be with us, with SLAMCI and Investa. And for this afternoon, we'll be discussing the topic investing in every life stage, no. But before I introduce to you our speaker for this afternoon, I would like to ask you, what does a brighter life mean to you? No? Kasi here in Sun Life, our goal is to help our clients achieve a brighter life. So, I know madami kayong naiisip na sagot, no, kung ano ba ang brighter life para sa inyo. For some, it may be buying a new car or having your own house, having your own business, no? Being able to fund your children's education, no? So being healthy or free from any illness, no? Or being able to retire comfortably, no? And in financial planning, we always take into consideration the person's needs and lifestyle changes, no? And every person has different aspirations or goals in life. At yung aspirations na yun ang financial goals natin, no? Each of us has our own goals, and these goals keep us striving to be better, no? The reason why I ask you, what a brighter life means to you is because I want you guys to envision the goals that you have for yourself and for your family, no? According to Tony Robbins, a famous American author, setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into visible. So now that you have identified the goal that you want to prioritize, let's go to the different life stages. So here in Sun Life, we've identified 4 life stages, no? And as you go through the different life stages, you'll have different financial goals and needs. And that's why it's really very important that we know how to prepare ahead for these needs. So for example, if you're on the getting started stage, you might need to be able to establish your emergency fund during this stage. If you're on the moving up stage, it's important that you have an education fund in order to provide the best education for your children. And at the same time, during this period, nasa peak ka na ng career mo, so you should be starting to save up for your milestones like buying your own car or having your own business. And finally, when you're in the preparing ahead and living a legacy stage, this is the period that you want to ensure that you have sufficient retirement funds, so that you will be able to retire comfortably. And in Sun Life, meron kaming concept na tinatawag na money for life. So it simply means that you are, you will be able to enjoy a brighter life ahead of you, and you are prepared for any expected and unexpected events. And for this afternoon, our speaker will share with us her investing journey, how she was able to handle and manage her investments as she shifts towards a different life stage. So hindi ko na patatagalin pa, let me introduce our speaker. She has been with SLAMCI for almost 7 years. She handles distribution partnerships with trust banks, brokers, and other alternative channels. And she's been in the mutual fund industry for more than 10 years. She formerly worked as a market analyst for an international financial research firm, and she's a wife and a mother of one precious baby girl. And she has been investing with mutual funds since 2013. So mga ka-investa, let's all welcome Angel Cruz. Hi,
Hi.
Angel.
Hi, Lucy. Hi, Ka-Investa. Good afternoon to everyone. And thank you, thank you for spending your time with us.
So we're excited to hear your tips, Angel. No? Let's now go to the first life stage. That's the getting started stage. And during this stage, you're starting to find yourself and break boundaries. You're aiming for independence, you're understanding the value of your own finances. So during this time, no, the focus is on self. So I have a question for you, Angel. Back when you were a fresh graduate, what
Mhm.
were your goals and your priorities, and how did you prepare for those goals?
Okay. So sige, it's very good that we have this time to share with our listeners the different life stages. Hindi ko lang mapapromise na makaka-share ako ng real life experience because as we go along later on dun sa discussion natin, marirealize nyo na lang din na hindi pa talaga ako or wala pa ako dun sa life stage na yon. But as much as possible, I will give you some tips as how you will handle your finances during every life stage. So going back to your question, Lucy, what were my priorities when I was a fresh graduate? So I think just like any other fresh graduate, my priorities back then were to find a job that pays decently and really explore my new world, no? Kasi syempre after years of, purely relying on allowance that, my parents give me, I really made it a point na I enjoyed the money that I was earning. And, my goals back then, I call them mga personal luxury or personal pleasures ko, no? Like, travel, kasi uso nun yung mga piso sale, mga seat sale. So, every time na merong sale yung mga airlines, my friends and I will book, no? Will book our next travel destination. And also, buying the latest gadgets available in the market. And of course, shopping, di ba? Syempre, yan yung mga nagpapasaya sa atin just after graduation because we are starting to earn our own money, no? But then I also start savings, no? Or saving. Kasi nga, as I've shared, ito yung mga first years na nag-uumpisa ka to earn your own money. And that also parang requires me to start my saving. And ang sarap lang din sa feeling na noong time na yon I was able to see my bank account grow little by little. So if you're going to ask me, Lucy, how did I prepare for these goals? And obviously, yung mga goals ko naman that time are very short term, kung if I may say, no. So if you will look at my first portfolio, it will really be purely savings account. Siguro if I could share with you, siguro mga about 70% of my money was in a high interest savings account, and then the rest of my money is basically my payroll. No? So lahat talaga ng pera ko nasa bangko lang. And I actually thought that I was kind of investing na kasi dalawa yung hawak kong bank account and yung isa high interest savings pa, no? So yun, akala ko nag-start na ako mag-invest. But then again, an opportunity came up, no? My parents wanted to buy a property and they asked my siblings and me if we wanted to pitch in. Kasi gusto nila na sana yung property is a common property, no, for us family. So, of course, my siblings and I agreed and we gave our fair share of the payment, no. And that actually required me to withdraw all my money from my bank account. As in, yung pera ko sa bangko, na-wipe out yon, na-zero out siya,
Mhm.
no. And that's, I guess, when I realized, no, that saving is not enough. No, while it's good to, minimize your spendings so you can also save a little, we still have to find ways to make our money work for us. And that experience led me to rebuild my portfolio into something like this, no? Kung ano yung nakikita nyo ngayon sa screen. So after that experience, my learnings and that experience really taught me and led me to rebuild my portfolio to something like this. I still maintained my savings account and my high interest savings account, but I also started investing. And that time, I invested into equities.
Same with you, Angel, no? Hindi rin ako talaga agad nag-invest, no? Actually, for the first 3 years, no, nung nasa first job pa ako, yung salary ko, lahat yon nasa savings account lang. And on the third year, that's the time pa lang that I was exposed to financial literacy, no? So I researched also about investing, and eventually I learned about stock trading. And yun yung exciting part, no, dito sa life stage na to, because this is the time that we start to build our confidence towards investing. And now we're mentioning about saving, and you said, no, na-realize mo kailangan pa rin pala talaga mag-invest, not just save. So can you further expound, no, for the benefit of our audience, what is the difference between saving and investing?
Oh, okay. So good that you asked that, Lucy, no? Kasi saving and investing may mean the same in such a way that
Yes.
you are setting aside, a portion of your money for future use. But if we look deeper into the meaning of these two words, you will realize that they have different meaning, and they also play different roles in your financial journey. So, siguro we can start with saving, no? So, saving is setting aside a portion of your money for financial objectives in the near future. So, let's say you want to buy a new phone 6 months from now, or you want to go on a vacation for your next birthday. So, talagang pang short term siya, no? And your primary goal for saving are preserving the value of your money and making sure that it is available whenever you need it. So, let's say, may opportunity, nag-sale, kunwari, yung isang item na gustong-gusto mo nang bilhin na matagal na, di ba? So, that's one of the goal of saving, no? You want your money to be available, easy to access whenever you need it. And based on these definitions, typically, you put your savings in a safe instrument like bank accounts or time deposits, no? So on the other hand, investing naman is a long-term plan for bigger financial goals. So let's say you want to buy a house 5 years from now, or you want to prepare for your children's education, or probably you want to have or you want to prepare for a comfortable retirement. So investing again is really for long-term goals such as what I've mentioned, no? And when we invest, we normally expect our money to grow over time more than what we can earn from saving. And because investing is, naturally for a longer term, it also involves taking additional risk. But of course, for ano naman, for a potential higher return. So if you could remember, if we go back to the portfolio nga na share ko kanina, no, I really started with saving. Kasi lahat yun nasa bank lang, di ba? Bank accounts lang. But then again, my experience, yun nga yung property that my parents wanted to buy back then, that experience really led me to expand my investing or my finances and start investing into riskier assets such as equities.
I definitely agree with you, Angel, no? Sabi ng iba, they don't want to invest kasi hindi naman daw guaranteed ang returns dyan, no? Or masyado daw risky. But for me, we still need to invest, no? Because there are a lot of reasons why. So first, if you leave all your money in a savings account, inflation will eat up the purchasing power of your money. So, naririnig naman natin to ngayon, 'di ba, yung balita tungkol sa pagtaas ng bilihin, no, pagtaas ng presyo ng gasolina, and every year, no, the prices of goods and services really increase. Another reason is that if you're investing, especially for the long term, that will help you achieve the goals that you've set in the future, no? For example, ako personally, yung life goal, isa sa life goal ko would be to have my own, house, no, in Alfonso, Cavite. So investing will help me achieve that life goal. And lastly, no, yung passive income na tinatawag natin, and investing is one way to earn that passive income, no? Money working for you. Sabi nga ni Warren Buffett, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. And ayaw naman natin na magtrabaho tayo forever. We want to retire comfortably. And investing is one way for us to ensure, no, that we have that enough funds in the future. So there might be some from our audience who are still currently researching about investing, no? So let's set the base for them, Angel. Ano ba ang dapat tingnan, pag-aralan, or i-assess bago mag-invest?
Okay. So sige, since di ba nasabi ko nga kanina that, investing really involves taking in risk. And of course, kapag naman nag-i-invest tayo, ang nire-risk natin dito is our hard-earned money, no? And so because of that, no, we really have to be smart about making any investment decision. Hindi yan katulad ng nagising ka isang araw, tapos feeling mo gusto mong mag-invest and you will just put all your money in an investment product. Hindi po ganun yan, no? Medyo nakakatakot kung ganun yung mindset natin. So before investing, there are a lot of considerations you can take. There are a lot, but siguro this afternoon, I could share 3 considerations that you can take before you really make any investment decision. And those are, your financial situation, your investment objective and time frame, and the investments available to you, no? So for financial situation, I would suggest that, you take your time, you sit down and take an honest look at your entire finances. No, it will also help you if you could ask yourself questions like, do I have enough savings for unexpected expenses, or what we call the emergency fund? How much money can I set aside each month? Or magkano ba yung pera na meron ako ngayon na pwede kong iset aside for investment? And also, probably you could ask yourself if you are ready, no, to learn the ups and downs of investing. And the answers to these questions should help you map out your investing plan. And it should provide you some structure, no, to organize your finances. So next is your investment objective and time frame. So before investing, it's very important that you identify your goal for investing. Are you setting aside money for your retirement? Are you investing for your dream house or for your children's education? So it could be unique. Yung investment objective mo could be different from my investment objective. But I think what's more important is we identify our goal and we stick to that goal, no? The problem kasi if we do not have a goal for investing, it can be very easy for us, no, to be, emotional, and it can be easy for us to pull out our investment. So for example, nag-invest ka pero wala ka naman talagang goal for that particular investment. And then nakita mo na yung value ng pera mo bumaba. So if you do not stick or you do not have that goal, it's very easy for you to just decide to stop the investment process, di ba? Kasi natakot ka, ganyan. But if you have your goal, you will realize that whatever happens with your money, it's all part of the investment journey, and you will not decide to stop your investment until you are about to realize your goal. So again, it's very important. No? It's really very important to to set a goal for investing. And lastly is the investments available to you. So you have to check also no what investments are available to you, of course based on your financial situation and your objective. Kasi Lucy, when it comes to investments, there's no such thing as one type fits all eh. 'Di ba? There are many ways and there are many products to start with, but it will all depend on how confident you feel about the product and whether you'd prefer to take a more passive or a more active approach.
So, balikan ko yung sinabi mo kanina, Angel, kasi you've shared that your first investment is in equities, no? So, given the
Yes.
considerations, no, that you've just mentioned, what type of equity investment yung nag-fit sa'yo noon, no? Direct into stocks ba? Or meron bang managed equity fund, no, na nababagay
Oh,
para sa'yo?
sige. Honestly, I tried investing directly to stocks, no? If my memory serves me well, natatandaan ko, meron akong mga hawak noon na energy stock, meron akong restaurant, and meron akong bank. Meron pang iba, but what I can really remember is all my stocks were second liner stocks, no? Hindi ito yung mga index names. So alam naman natin na kapag hindi siya index name, mas kailangan tutukan yan, mas kailangan
Correct.
i-monitor kung ano yung galaw niya, no?
Mhm.
But then again, back then, I had a 9 to 6 job. May trabaho ako full-time. So, hindi ko talaga matutukan yung stock market when it's open for trading. And I didn't have the luxury of time to do researches, no? And so, to cut the long story short, um, may mga stocks akong hawak na kumita. But honestly, meron din naman akong mga stocks na hawak na nalugi talaga ako, no? And because of that, I really felt na, I am not well equipped to manage my own stock investment. And that really prompted me to explore other options. And that is when I started investing in an equity mutual fund.
Same with you, Angel. Nag-start din ako talaga sa stock trading lang. And then later on, I discovered about mutual fund and all the benefits and convenience that it can offer, no? And as for me naman, no, I started investing in mutual funds through cost averaging. So this is an investment strategy in which an investor divides up the total amount to be invested across periodic purchases of a target asset. So ako, no, kasi first job ko pa lang noon. So yung sweldo ko, no, every month, kinukurutan ko ng 2,000 pesos, no, monthly. And that started in 2015, no. And then eventually, I increased my investments every month kasi tumataas din naman yung sweldo ko. And if you are to ask me what mutual fund I chose, that's the Sun Life Prosperity Philippine Equity Fund, no? And this fund is really perfect and suitable for those with an aggressive risk profile and investing for your long-term goals, no? I also want to share na yung mga colleagues namin ni Angel sa Sun Life, they really use this fund, no, to set up their children's college fund, no? So this fund invests in the top 30 companies of the PSEI, and this is also investing in REITs, no, and second liners. So this is an actively managed fund. So, our investments team may decide to increase or decrease an exposure to a stock, no, depending on the upside or opportunities it presents. And the objective of this fund is to generate long-term capital growth by investing in the top companies of the PSEI. And one beauty of this fund is that it only requires 1,000 pesos to start. So for those who'd like to invest, no, na katulad ko at katulad ni Angel, no, na walang time to monitor the market on a daily basis, no, and do not have, that large sum of money para makapag-invest sa top 30 companies of the PSEI, this fund can be for you because for just 1,000 pesos, you will already have that indirect exposure to the Philippine stock market. So Angel, now let's go to stage 2, no? The moving up stage. And during this stage, wala na yung mga YOLO days, no? You already start to shed your old habits and pave the way for life-changing events like getting married, welcoming your newborn child, or nurturing a family, no? So during this stage, the focus is on building a family. So nasa life stage ka na ito, Angel, no? You are very much happily married. And I have a question, no? Before you said yes to your life partner, kay Paulo, what was on your checklist back then?
Sige. To answer you, Lucy, ang top talaga na nasa checklist ko before I said yes to Paolo is the ring. No, syempre, di ba, before naman you said yes, or before I said yes, kailangan nag-propose muna
Mag-propose. Yes.
kailangan nag-propose muna si Paolo. But yeah, he
Mhm.
did naman, he proposed, no? But, well, to be serious about it, no, if you were going to ask me what were on my checklist before I got married, it's really checking if we have stable finances. So, ayan, yan po si Paulo, ang aking asawa. It really required Paulo and myself to check on our finances if we are stable and if we have enough money. Kasi, nung kinasal kami, Lucy, hindi pa uso ang intimate wedding, no? So,
Correct.
medyo
Mm-mm.
malakihan pa yung mga weddings and we really needed to check if we had enough money to pay for our dream wedding and also for our honeymoon. No? And not just that, kasi yung wedding and honeymoon, start pa lang yan ng married life eh. Once you're done with the honeymoon, ano na yan, reality bites you in, no? So I also had to check, no, if we have enough or enough money to pay for our monthly rent and also for our utilities. And not just that, kasi syempre after you pay for all your short-term needs, you also have to check, no, may matitira ba? May matitira after mo bang bayaran yung rent mo, yung utilities mo, yung mga scheduled dates nyo and whatsoever, di ba? After all these expenses, may matitira ba? Kasi syempre, you're starting a new life and so you also have to start saving or investing for your future plans, no? And lastly, what's on my checklist is I had to check if, we have the same financial mindset. Kasi ano yan eh, getting married is having a partner for life. And that partner will be with you in every life stage. So it's very important that you get a partner that also has the same financial mindset as you are. Kasi, ano yan, teamwork, di ba? Teamwork yan. And happily, nag-match naman kami ni Paolo.
Thanks for sharing that, Angel. And I know maraming nakaka-relate dyan, no, sa mga audience natin, no. Tama, nagbabago yung needs natin, no, as we shift from one life stage to another, no. After all, you're no longer after your own pleasures talaga. You're more focused on building the future, no, for you and your family. So, Angel, last year, may bagong dumating sa buhay mo, no? You entered this another chapter in your life, and that's becoming a mother. So, your precious baby girl, si Vanya, she came into your life last year. So, my next question is, how has marriage or having your own family affected your mindset on investing?
Yeah, so that's right, no. Yeah, last year, I gave birth to our baby girl, si Vanya. Yan na yung mga pictures niya, no. And ang bilis nga din, Lucy, kasi a few weeks ago, she just turned 1, no. And I really agree with what you said, no, na in every stage, in every life stage, it really prompts you to change priorities and to change your investment mindset, no? So before kasi ang dali-dali mag-add to cart ng bagong damit, ang dali-dali mag-add to cart ng bagong gamit. Pero now, that we have our small family, every time na may i-add to cart ako, I really ask myself, no, do I really need this? Will I use this item? Or should I just keep the money and invest it for the family? And totoo yung sinabi mo, no? Kasi when Vanya came into our lives, there was really a shift of priorities and that sense of additional responsibilities, no? Kasi before nga, I invest for my future, but now that we have Vanya and we have our small family, I am not only investing for my future but also for my family's future, no. So in fact, this milestone also pushed me, no, to expand my portfolio by diversifying globally. And kasi ngayon, I also have to prepare for Vanya's expenses, di ba? Like her birthdays, our travels, and of course, ang hindi natin maiiwasan, ang tuition fee when she enters school. No? So, I expanded my portfolio and diversified, no, into a global equity fund. And I invested in the Sun Life Prosperity World Equity Index Feeder Fund. So this fund really allows investors to diversify his or her portfolio by investing in global companies across the world. So if we are going to look at where this fund is invested, we will see familiar names like Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google, no? And what's nice about this fund is that it allows you to use your Philippine peso, no? And ano kasi yun it's a very good development in the industry, no? Kasi ang tagal-tagal ko na sanang gustong mag-invest globally, but unfortunately, wala akong dollar. Hindi ako dollar earner. So, the introduction of funds such as the World Equity Index Feeder Fund it's a welcome development for investors like me na who are earning in peso, because again, by using our peso we can now start diversifying globally. And what's also nice about this fund is that it also allows you to diversify into sectors that are unavailable locally, no? Kasi 'di ba, if we will break down the sectors here in the Philippines, ayan, you can see naman from the screen kung ano yung meron tayo dito. But very evident in the slide, no, what we do not have in the local market are sectors like technology and healthcare, which we know for a fact na ito yung mga sectors na very resilient in this time of pandemic. So, by investing in the World Equity Index Feeder Fund, it also gives you access to these sectors, no? And yun, I really started diversifying for our long-term needs for Vanya, no? But I also want to share to our listeners this afternoon, no, that what remained constant in my portfolio all throughout these years is my investment in the equity fund. So kanina nga na-mention mo na, Lucy, kung ano yung equity fund. And ako siguro yung one of the testament, no, of this fund. Kasi I started investing in equity fund way back 2013. And I've really seen the market go on cycles, no. It has gone up and down, baba taas until today, no. But again, despite the price volatility of this fund, nakikita nyo naman sa pinapresent natin how noisy it can be, how volatile it can be. But despite this, it has also proven to give pockets of opportunities to gain good returns. No, in fact, my investment in this fund has helped me cover some expenses of my wedding and also my travels and or even preparing for Vanya's nursery needs, no? So before ako manganak, nag-redeem ako a bit from my equity investment. So that I will have extra budget to prepare for her stuff before she arrives, no. And to share with you, I am still invested in this fund until this very day, no. And I plan to keep it for as long as I need it. Kasi I really believe, no, in this fund. It has proven to be helpful, and I believe it will continue to help me cover for my next milestone expenses.
Thanks for those tips, Angel, no? And thanks for the fund recommendation. So, guys, no, yung mga minention ni Angel na life goals and then merong katapat, no, na fund for that, no? That is called goal-based investing. And in Sun Life, that's our advocacy, no? We want our clients, no, to be able to have those life goals, and we want our products and our mutual funds, no, to be able to serve its purpose to help the investors, no, achieve their life goals. So now, no, let's go to the next life stage, Angel. Stage 3, that's preparing ahead, no? So people in this life stage are already planning for retirement. So obviously, wala pa kami ni Angel dito sa stage na to, but we ask some people, no, ano ba yung key priorities nila, no? Those people in stage 3. So they said, yung key priorities nila would be assessing their retirement readiness. They are continuously saving aggressively for retirement. They are also paying off debts such as mortgage kasi once na retired na sila, pwedeng wala na silang income. So it's really important to pay debts while they're still earning. And also, with regards to investing, they are already gradually reducing the risk in their portfolio.
Yeah, so I agree with that, no, Lucy. I agree with everything that you said, especially dun sa sinabi mong wala pa tayo sa live stage na to. Kasi obviously, we are not in this live stage yet, no? But that doesn't mean na hindi tayo dadating sa live stage na to. Lahat naman tayo, no, we will be moving up in every live stage. And so, a tip siguro that I can share to our listeners this afternoon is that, you know, while you're still not in the preparing ahead life stage yet, at least have in mind that you will get there sooner than later, no? Lahat naman kasi nga tayo, if God permits, no, papunta dyan. And so as early as now, and as young as you are, as young as we are, we should be starting investing, no, and start building our portfolio asset allocation mix, which later on we can just rebalance. But before we go to the details, no, let's define first what asset allocation is. So asset allocation is dividing your investments among different assets. It changes at different times in your life depending on how long you have to invest and your ability to take risk, no? So to give our audience an idea, so for those who are in the getting started life stage pa, nandun pa sila sa early stages in their lives, no? I bet you are still young, and I hope, no, you have a steady flow of income. Then I guess you are the ones who are best positioned to take an aggressive asset allocation mix, no? Where majority of your investment can be put into a more risky assets such as equities, no? But then another tip that I can probably share this afternoon is you do not have to limit yourself from investing in one fund alone. So kahit na aggressive investor ka, it still pays, no, to consider including asset classes that behave differently in any market condition, such as a balanced fund or a bond fund. And kasi ano yan, Lucy, at the end of the day, you know, by having an appropriate asset allocation mix, you can somehow protect your portfolio against significant losses, no? And yun nga, no, as we near or as we enter the preparing ahead life stage, then you may slowly switch or shift your portfolio into a more moderate asset allocation mix, no? And in this type of mix, um, you are slowly reducing the risk of your investments, and you may start no allocating more into a safer or more conservative products, like again like the bond fund, no, or a balance fund, because as we enter this life stage, ang nagiging priority na natin is really to protect our money from extreme volatility.
Thanks for sharing the concept of asset allocation, Angel. Tama ka naman, no? Wala naman kasi talagang perfect fund na siya lang yung makakasagot ng lahat ng financial needs natin, no? But there is an ideal asset allocation that's best for our risk profile, our time horizon, and our financial goals. And Angel mentioned, no, that in the preparing ahead life stage, you have to recalibrate your portfolio to a more balanced or moderate or conservative asset allocation. And so I have here some fund recommendations for those para sa mga ka-investa natin na nasa life stage na to. So first would be the bond fund, no? So bonds tend to typically be less volatile, no, than other asset classes like stocks. So for most of investors, they put bonds in their portfolio to act as stabilizers, no? So for the Sun Life Prosperity Bond Fund, this one is investing in short-term to medium-term government and corporate bonds issued by the Philippine government and prime Philippine companies. So the objective of this fund is to provide regular interest and principal preservation for investors who want relatively stable and reasonable returns. And the initial and additional investment, no, is just 1,000 pesos. So another fund that we'd like to highlight is the Balance Fund. So we call this fund as the best of both worlds, no? Bakit? Kasi itong fund na to nag-i-invest in both bonds and stocks, no? So you already have no both worlds into one fund, no, the balance fund. And the objective of this is to provide investors with income from the bonds and capital growth from the stocks. So same with the bond fund, the minimum initial and additional investment is just 1,000 pesos. So mga ka-investa, feel free to check out these funds in the new Investa app. So now let's go to the final stage. That's living a legacy. So during this stage, you are already ensuring comfort in your golden years and securing your loved one's future. So, ang goals and characteristics no ng mga people in this life stage. Currently, they are already liquidating investments for living expenses. They are reinventing self with new hobbies and interests. They are protecting cash from inflation and they strive for security of finances. So, lahat ng mga people in this life stage, no, they are already retired. And kung ako, no, if I may just share, yung ideal retirement life para sa akin, Angel, sabi ko kanina, di ba, I want to have that a house in Alfonso, no. Actually, ang gusto ko, yung house ko nasa farm. So, sa retirement ko, gusto ko ng isang, masaya at mapayapang pamumuhay, no, doon sa sa Alfonso, Cavite, no. Gusto ko naman carefree naman sana at sustainable yung living ko by then, no. Ikaw, Angel, if I may ask you, what's your ideal retirement life and how do you plan to manage your finances come that you are already a retiree?
Wow, ang sarap naman ng goal mo, Lucy. Baka you can invite me kapag meron ka ng bahay sa
Of
Alfonso.
course, of course.
No, but seriously, siguro if you're going to ask me ano yung goal ko, no, once I reach my retirement, I would answer you na ang goal ko talaga is to be just like my lolo and my lola. No, so I think my lola is 84 and my lola is 82 years old, and obviously they are both retirees, no, and they really prepared well for these years nila, no. And di ba parang in life nga we always say na we have two main problems, so that's dying too soon or living too long, no? And I would like to believe that my lolo and my lola have prepared well for both scenarios, no? I mean, I've seen them work super hard. I've seen them made sacrifices just to be able to prepare for what they are actually enjoying right now, which is a very comfortable retirement. They really made sure, no, that they can sustain a certain level of lifestyle without bothering their children, no? And yun din yung goal ko personally. Siyempre, when I reach my golden years, I don't want naman Vanya to think of providing for me, di ba? Her life is for her to make and hindi para problemahin yung pambili ko ng mga maintenance, di ba? So, I think that's also a primary reason why I started investing early and why I am diversifying as early as now, and why I also take extra effort to learn how to manage my money effectively. So yun, siguro ganun Lucy yung yung goal ko talaga no when I reach this retirement.
Nakakatuwa marinig yung stories mo, Angel, about your lolo and lola. Kasi admittedly, di ba, dito sa bansa natin, maraming retirees na namumuhay with very little or no pension at all. And yung situation nila na yon, that compels them to continuously work to meet their daily needs. And it's not entirely their fault naman kasi probably during their time, there were very, limited information no, na available tungkol sa pag-i-invest. Or there were limited opportunities that time no, for them to prepare for their golden years. Kaya ako, I know really, no, I believe na there is hope, especially in our generation. Kasi maswerte tayo, no, we have that, a lot of resources and a lot of tools to help us grow our money. So now, Angel, no, if ever your lolo and your lola would ask your advice, no, on how they can manage, their finances or investments at this stage, and also to our viewers, no, who are currently on this life stage, no, what advice would you give them?
You know what, Darcy, hindi siya if ever eh. Kasi may
Mm-hmm.
lolo, yan, lalo na yung lolo ko, no? Si lolo has been asking me kapag meron siyang extra cash, parati niya akong tinatanong how should he invest or saan ba niya dapat ilagay yung pera niya. But whenever my lolo and my lola ask me about this financial tips and advices, I always tell them no just to put their money in a liquid and conservative investment product like such as a money market fund, no. Kasi actually at their age, personally I do not encourage them to invest in aggressive funds anymore. Kasi syempre, 'di ba, may edad na sila and I don't want to expose them to volatility, and as much as possible, I want to secure their money so that anytime that they want to use it, they can enjoy it, 'di ba? Yung hindi na tayo mamomroblema kung nag-fluctuate ba or bumaba ba yung value ng pera nila. Again, with their age, what I normally tell them is just to put their money in a very conservative and safe investment product such as a money market fund.
Thanks for that tip, Angel. So the money market fund, no, yung recommendation ni Angel for people in this life stage. And in Sun Life, we also have that, no, the Peso Starter Fund. And watch out for this fund. This will also be soon introduced, no, in the new Investa app. So now that we've covered all the life stages, no, so we are assessing what are our life goals and the goals that we have set, no. Let me just wrap up the fund recommendations that we've mentioned all throughout the life stages. So first, we have the Peso Starter Fund. This is our most conservative fund, and this is a great alternative to your time deposits. For the bond fund, this is for those with a moderate risk appetite, and your bond fund can be your portfolio stabilizer. The balance fund is the best of both worlds, and this is investing in both bonds, no, and equities. And also we have the equity fund that is perfect for your long-term goals, no. So the equity fund is investing in the top 30 companies of the PSEI and can also invest in REITs and second liners. And finally, we have the World Equity Index Feeder Fund. This is our global fund, and this is also available in the Investa app. So through Wave, no, you can invest in global markets using your Philippine peso. So right now, you might really want to start, I know, but the hardest part is really taking action, diba, no? So what we'd like to advise with you is make it a reality, no? Make your financial plans your reality. And that's why Investa has made it really convenient for all of us to start our investing journey. Through the Investa app, you will have access to several mutual funds, including the Sun Life Prosperity Funds. So ako, gustong-gusto ko talaga gamitin yung Investa app, no? Kasi it's really very user-friendly. It has all the available graphs showing the performance of the funds. And also, for the Sun Life Prosperity Funds in Investa, you can invest for as low as 1,000 pesos, no? But actually, meron akong dalawang gustong-gusto na reason kung bakit ina-advise ko yung mga friends ko, no, to try out the Investa app and invest in Sun Life Prosperity Funds. First, because there is no upfront fees or sales loads when you are investing, no, in Sun Life Prosperity Funds through Investa, no? Anong ibig sabihin nun? It means that when you're investing 10,000 pesos, wala pong deductions yan, no? Your 10,000 pesos will be fully subscribed in the fund. And also, another reason is that for most of the Sun Life Prosperity Funds, there are no holding period or lock-in period. So this will allow you to redeem your investments on any business day, no, without exit fees. So I hope that you appreciate, no, the tips, no, that Angel shared for this afternoon, and I hope that after this session, no, you will get to check out all our available funds in the Investa app. And before we proceed to the Q&A portion, Angel, can I just ask for any last few words or advice that you'd like to leave to our audience?
Okay. So first of all, thank you so much sa mga ka-investa natin. No? Thank you so much for, again, spending your time with us and for listening to our tips this afternoon. No? And siguro yung last tip ko na lang is, kung nasaan man kayong live stage right now, don't get discouraged, no? Kung kahit nandun na kayo sa Leaving a Legacy live stage, or nasa getting started kayo, don't get discouraged and don't get discouraged from investing, and you really have to act on it as soon as possible kasi time is really your friend when it comes into investing. And you are fortunate kasi there are a lot of financial literacies right now, such as this event, no? Years ago, wala pang mga ganito. So yung mga ganitong event, you have to take advantage and really take everything, no, na matututunan nyo sa mga ganitong event. And again, once natutunan nyo siya, ang mas importante is you apply it to your own financial journey. So thank you again, Lucy.
Thank you, Angel, and thank you to all our ka-investa.
InvestaFest 2022 is brought to you by these major partners: ATRAM, To Trade Asia, and these other partners. Do not forget to share your experience and learning on social media. Use our official hashtag InvestaFest 2022.